Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Well, this Shabbat we have a very interesting one. It's Parshat Korach. And in it, it recounts the rebellion of Korach, a cousin of Moses and Aaron, and along with some 250 plus followers. Some rebels are swallowed by the ground, and others are consumed by a fire from God, and others die in a plague. Korach challenges Moses with questions that actually don't make any sense at all. So think about it. If you have holy books in your house, do you still need to have a mezuzah on your doorpost? How many of you have holy books in your house? Even your prayer books. Do you still have a mezuzah on your doorpost? Okay, so what would that answer be? Okay, Korach challenges this. He wants to incite a rebellion, and he wants to gather people around his cause. So he challenges Moses' authority, and this is where he goes too far, as a direct messenger of God. There is a contest to settle things. Incense is brought by both sides. And of course, Moses is victorious. Korach was dissatisfied with everything. He wanted to usurp Moses and God's plan by spearheading a massive rebellion, wanting things to be done his way. But this was just too much. Questioning Moses, questioning if he got his commands from God, or was he just making things up? This angers God very, very much. Korach, his family, and all of his followers paid dearly with their lives. Oh, if it were just that easy. So, to quote Rabbi Joseph Sklut, it was tough in those biblical times. To our sages' minds, Korach's exchange with Moses was marked by a very remarkable lack of goodwill, and this is from Rabbi Sklut. Korach entered the conversation determined to prove his point and disgrace his adversary, belittle him, take him down in the eyes of everyone else. He had no serious intention or discussion about philosophy of Jewish ritual in mind. He had no respect for Moses' point of view. He had just stopped listening and started talking. And he didn't stop talking until the earth opened its mouth and swallowed him up. He then quotes lines from a James Taylor song, "The Lonesome Road." If I had stopped to listen once or twice, if I had closed my mouth and opened my eyes, if I had cooled my head and warmed my heart, I would not be on this road tonight. How many good things, and I ask you this, have been ruined by arrogant, small-minded people who believe that what they know is absolute and everyone else is wrong? Have any of you ever experienced this? How many ventures have been thwarted by negative influences trying to rally others to their point of view without it being the truth, and yet still are able to destroy that which is truly holy and good? In our Parsha, Korach almost gets away with it until God steps in with a vengeance, killing by fire, plague, and as stated previously, it is written, the earth opened up its mouth and swallowed them whole. How fitting. God truly has a wry sense of humor. Blasphemy, lashon hara of the highest degree, and outright rebellion. This will not be tolerated in the eyes of the Lord. Loose lips, evil tongue, begot a punishment equal to the crime, death through the mouth of the earth. God can create, and God too can destroy. That is not what God wants to do, and yet we, humanity, seem to push the limits time and time again. In Judaism, life matters more than anything, and yet it's important to note this, and this is part of this lesson of this Parsha. Loyalty seems to hold a significant place alongside it, and betrayal as well. In Judaism, betrayal is viewed as a profound, and I'm not making this up, a profound violation of trust that damages both human relationships and one's connection to the divine. Both get fractured when betrayal happens. It is written that in Judaism, loyalty is a foundational moral commitment rather than just an emotion. There is a covenantal relationship between all of us as individuals and us in relation to God. It is rooted in the concept of emunah, faithfulness. I once tried to get that on a license plate, it was taken. And an active, unbreakable bond to God. Sir Rabbi Jonathan Sacks refers to this as covenant over contract. Judaism emphasizes covenantal loyalty. Unlike a contract, our lawyers might like this, which is based on mutual self-interest and can be broken when conditions change and then they are argued and debated and mediated. However, a covenant is a moral bond of trust that defines identity and survives challenges. Sadly, not all people operate this way. This is not a state of consciousness that is even remotely in their wheelhouse. This was not in Korach's wheelhouse, or the ones who gathered around with the mob mentality and aided in his attempt for rebellion. Maybe this is where the term fair weather friend comes from. People should be loyal to each other. People should see the good in each other. And yes, the good in God. We are at our best reflections of the divine. But just like in ancient times, we can fall victim to being on either side of the equation, betrayer or betrayed. Neither is a comfortable place to be. God certainly wasn't going to stand for it, and that was for sure. Now, the Torah can offer extreme examples to prove a point, much like the earth swallowing them whole. But it was the idea of the fact that lashon hara and blasphemy had been spoken. Words had been spoken against Moses, words out of the mouth. So in the Bible, the mouth swallowed them up whole. In a time when miracles could be manifest for good, they could just as easily turn at a moment's notice based on our actions to teach us a lesson. And this happens in life all the time. There will be times in our lives when leadership will be questioned and maybe even attacked. Rebellions can rise up, and as history has shown, governments can be overthrown and well-meaning ventures fractured. The point here is to choose which side you wish to dwell on. Korach and his followers chose a side that ended in loss of life on a grand scale. Now, things don't need to be as extreme for us to realize that all God expected was loyalty. Loyalty to Moses, his chosen prophet and leader of his beloved people, and loyalty to him or her as well. In Genesis, the creation story, God states that this one was very good, very, very good. So the question is, how many others did God create or maybe even have to destroy? We don't need God to destroy us. We are really good at that, sometimes all on our own. We need to protect the covenantal relationships that we are blessed to have with each other and with God. We need to walk with good companions and be loyal. When we do this, the road won't be so lonesome and the path ahead filled with light. Hopefully, too, with blessing. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.